in the area above Sochi, Krasnaya Polyana to be exact. Been there about a week. There's been international training, which ended yesterday. Race week is underway today, and the races will be this weekend on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's a season highlight, and then when this weekend is over, there are two more World Cup races to conclude the international season. So let's get underway on the call. We'll start out with ladies first. Let's start with Summer, ranked 6th in the World Cup so far this season. 4 individual medals. The team relay silver from a couple of weekends back. Summer, give us an idea how you think those results that last day at the last race may set the team up for some nice results, let's say, at the Worlds.
Yeah, it's always motivating to go into Worlds on a high note. So I definitely feel good going into this weekend, had a good week of training, and just excited to start racing.
And the weather is good. I mean, it's nice winter weather. It's not cold brutally, but it should be pretty good.
It's brutally cold.
Okay. All right. And with Summer, we have a couple of her teammates. We have Brittany Arndt. We have Ashley Farquharson. Both are from Park City. And ladies, tell me, how does it feel there being at, a high-level event like this? Do you sense some anticipation? Maybe, Brittany, you go first.
Yeah, hi, Katie. This is my first World Championship, so it's really cool to be here, of course, just taking in the experience. And, I don't really know what to expect at this point. It'll be a good couple days of racing. I'm really excited.
Okay. Ashley, your rookie season. Last year you were racing in the Junior World Championships, and, of course, you graduated now. You've been in the World Cup. How would you characterize your first season to date?
It's my first season, so I didn't really have many expectations set for myself. I'm just excited to be here. We've had a couple ups and downs, but I'm very happy with my race runs in Oberhof, so I'm just looking to do that again and throw down the cleanest runs I can for every race that I'm able to get into.
Okay, moving on to the gentlemen. Tucker, you've been there a few times, certainly over the course of your still young career. Can you pick up any differences, let's say, in the track from the Olympic period till now?
Testing my memory on that one. The Olympics were quite a while ago here. But yeah, ice profiles change all the time. This is one of those tracks that does change quite a bit every time we come here. We were fortunate enough to have training here in November of this year, and that training went well, and the style seems to be pretty similar to what we had during that time of year. It's a fast and challenging track, and that has proven to be the case this week. It's been great training for everyone, and I think it should be an exciting race. Okay,
moving over to Johnny. Normally, Johnny, in a regular race week, you get 5 trips, and then you race. This is a different scenario with the international training week, and you get a lot more than 5 runs. In your case, how is that going to help you?
I mean, it's always nice to have extra runs on the track you're racing on, so really just having those extra runs down the track and being able to have more time to fix problem spots or little issues you're having, it's just nicer to have those more time on the track.
Okay. Now to the singles and singles doubles athletes. Chris Masner, Olympic silver medalist. Chris, give us the state of your physical well-being at this point, if you would.
Mentally, Sandy, I'm always about 100%. But physically doing great also. Had a little issue with my neck, but we had an amazing chiropractor that met us 2 weeks ago now in Segulda who got me back into shape. So honestly, feeling great coming into this World Championships.
Okay.
And here's Jason to talk about how he's feeling.
Okay, Jason, go.
Yeah, first time back here in Sochi in 4 years. We were a little delayed on training because the sled shipment took a little turn for the worse. We got our sled a couple days late. Jumped on, was that Thursday? Friday. I think I got on the sled for the first time here. We got 6 runs in, and I actually tweaked my neck. Pretty much the same thing Chris did in Norway, but lucky for me, the chiropractor he had to wait for was already here, and I got treated right away. So I haven't slid since that 6th run, but my neck is back to about 95%, and we're going to jump back on it tomorrow.
Okay, and you've done doubles. Chris has done singles during the International Training Week. And going back to Chris, how is it holding up at this point?
Well, it's holding up well. The track here is awesome. It's really smooth, really fast. But yeah, I mean, the conditions are absolutely fantastic, and that makes it easier on the body. So the smoother the track is, the less wear and tear my body's taking. But I'm about to go through some double sections over the next couple of days right into World Championships. So I took the day off to rest up because it's going to be full out for the next, 5 days? 6 days, yeah, nonstop.
Okay, and we do have one notable absence. Emily Sweeney came home after the Oberhof weekend. Her neck has kind of reared up on her in recent weeks, and Emily is actually in Lake Placid getting looked at, and her season has ended. Emily won the bronze medal last year in the 2019 World Championships. Okay, so that's it for the intros. Let's open it up to the media on the call. Go for it.
All right, I'll jump in first, I guess. This is Julie Jag from the Salt Lake Tribune. Chris, I'm wondering, this is the first time, and I saw your post on Twitter and Instagram as well, but so it's the first time you'll be doing doubles here in Sochi. How does that change things from, what's the different approach versus when you were there in Sochi? For the Olympics.
No, that's a great question. It really, singles and doubles are drastically different, and the reason that it takes athletes so long to become good at luge is because we essentially have to develop this autopilot that takes us down the track. We're making decisions that are essentially natural reactions, just because things are happening so fast and we have so much control. The problem is, after taking so many runs in singles, it's like I have to almost reprogram my brain to do doubles because those quick reactions that you make are different. They come in different places because of the speed difference and also because of the sled. But I thought the best way to deal with that was just to go right off the top of the double track for the very first run, which one of the coaches thought was a little stupid, pretty much. But the thing is, because of that, we're not wasting any runs. It felt great. Jason and I have always slid very well on Jason's old double sled, and that's what we're on right now. We stopped sliding on the new sled we created. We're gonna kind of put that to the side. So we're back on something that we're confident with, that we know how it drives, and so far it's going pretty well.
Was that why the delay in having the sled arrive is because it's the sled that you're bringing a new old sled, I guess?
No. That was because of a mistake with the cargo. The rest of the luge world went on a charter flight. Unfortunately, 2 tons of equipment was overweight on that flight, so 26 sled boxes had to get rerouted through Moscow. So that was the issue there. But pretty much the U.S. team, everyone had their sleds except for Jason and I, our double sled. My single sled was on that plane, or supposed to be, so that had to go through Moscow, so we lost 2 days.
Okay.
Other questions, please.
Hi, it's Pat Bradley with WAMC. A question kind of for Brittany and probably Ashley. I know Brittany said that you're training, but you don't know what to expect because it's your first World Championship. So how does that affect how you're approaching training and approaching the upcoming actual, races coming up over the weekend. I mean, how do you get your mental set and the getting out there when you, as you said, you don't know what to expect?
Yeah, this is Brittany. This week I'm just trying to stay relaxed, to focus on having clean and consistent runs, and just hoping I can put that together for the races. I honestly, all season I've been pretty calm with racing, so I'm hoping that I can carry that over into this weekend and not feel so nervous, and yeah, just try to have fun, put down the road.
Do you get a chance to kind of scope out the other competitors at all while you're training?
Yeah, we have the chance to go out and watch everyone's training sessions if we want to. Yeah, it's an awesome track to walk up and down. It's really convenient. You can see everything. So yeah, it's good to kind of watch everyone else and see how other people are handling things.
So as you watch the other folks, how do you, what's your assessment? How do you think you're going to do?
I think it's hard to say. You see people try things maybe you're not doing, or you watch areas where you're having problems and you can try to learn from them. And then, the next day try to take that down.
Ashley, you doing the same sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean, this being my first World Champs, I kind of feel like I've got nothing to lose and nothing to prove. I'm just trying to focus on having a good time and having clean runs, because I know my runs are only as fast as I can make them, and if they're clean, I've done my job.
And let me mention here, Pat, excuse me if I can, in addition to the World Championship race, Ashley and Brittany, because of their age, they're also competing in the U23 World Championship, which is a race within a race. It's not a separate event that's held on another day. It's just extracted from the main World Championship race. So it'll look like they were in two competitions, and they are, but it's held on the one day, the one race.
Okay, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Other questions?
Hey everyone, it's Tim Reynolds.
Go ahead, Tim.
Hey, Tim.
I have a couple questions. I'd like to start with Summer, please. Summer, how much did the team maybe need that result in? I mean, it hasn't been an easy year for everybody. Em hurt, Chris hurt for a while. How much did you guys need that feeling of being on the podium in a team relay? Do you think that momentum can kind of carry over into this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, we really needed it. We all got together and we voted that if we didn't get on the podium in Oberhof, we were all going to quit and go home. I'm just kidding, to be clear. I think the thing is we're pretty split here, with half of us having been on World Cup for a long time. We have some rookies. But all season long, we've known the speed is there. We've had the potential. Just things haven't quite gone our way. But I think we've been, as a team, pretty good about having the fortitude to know that things didn't go our way this weekend or that weekend. But we know we have the potential and the speed. And I mean, we do really have a great team dynamic, and that's helped us succeed in the past. So I don't think we necessarily needed the morale boost, but it definitely does help, and it puts you into a more positive and ambitious mindset going into Worlds.
Before we take the next question, and I'll forget if I don't, the last weekend there in Oberhof, Summer was part of two medals. You had, of course, the bronze in the women's singles race, as well as leading the relay to the silver that weekend. But that bronze medal for USA Luge was the first women's podium result in Oberhof since February of 1996, when it was achieved by Cameron Myler, Myler. So long time coming, and like I said, I didn't want to forget before we got too much further down the road here. Other questions, please?
Sandy, I had a follow-up too for Chris.
Sure.
On a little bit of a different topic. Chris, you know, between sliding and your work with FIL, I know you've been to most of the winter sports havens in the world. Kind of, why has Lake Placid thrived in ways that other cities that have hosted games in the last 40 years maybe have not? Not all of them, of course, but a lot of them just aren't really a player anymore in the winter sports lexicon, and Placid has remained as viable as ever. Why do you think that is? Why do you think Placid has been able to succeed where others really haven't?
Hey, Tim, yeah, that's a great question. And man, okay. So I think part of it is, a lot of it is the community up there. There's a lot of pride from the Lake Placid Olympic region, but that expands into Saranac Lake, that goes down to Keene, really in driving distance from Lake Placid, and it really is focused on Olympic sports. I would say that per capita, that area has the highest concentration of Olympic athletes anywhere in this country, and a lot of it's due to the facilities. Even though they are still the original facilities in the most part from the 1980s, ORDA, the Olympic Regional Development Authority, has done a fantastic job maintaining them, bringing competitions in venue, and really just keeping the Olympic Games kind of present within the community. You had the Goodwill Games back in the early 2000s. We're going to have university winter games coming up. We have world championships in multiple sports coming there. And for being really just a tiny town of a few thousand people, that's unheard of. The only other place that I think, rivals that is the Salt Lake City, Park City area, but they also had an Olympics that was much sooner, kind of in the digital age, where Lake Placid back in 1980, I mean, they crushed it. Miracle on Ice, there's, the 5 gold medals of Eric Hayden, I said his name wrong. I'm having a brain fart right now. When you talked about Luge and doing too much stuff, I probably put the last 6 days into an FIL project, so my mind's a little spent, but can't wait to get back to Luge.
And this would be for any of you who were there 6 years ago. What's Rosa Couture like now? Does it remind you of Placid at all? Is it bustling? Is it sleepy? Like, they envisioned, when they built that place up, they sort of envisioned it to be a every winter paradise, lots of tourists, that sort of thing. Are you seeing any of that since you've been back there?
Tim, it is pretty awesome here. It really is, and I know a lot of it's probably it's like the best place we go now. We're in the mountains. It's close to an airport relative to other places that we go. 45 minutes by train here. It really is a winter paradise. It snowed 2.5 feet a couple days ago. We're supposed to get 2 more feet in 2 days. The skiing is unreal. There's a hustling, bustling vibe. There's restaurants, there's hotels, and there's a lot of people here. Making dinner reservations is a must on the weekends, unfortunately. Where other places we don't really run into that problem. But no, I'm really impressed. Honestly, really impressed with this place. And I mean, today some of us took the day off and we went up the mountain, grabbed coffees. There's a huge, 600-foot bungee jumping place just 30 minutes away. They've done a lot to improve tourism. It's awesome. And yeah, they really did a good job.
Very
Thanks,
good.
everybody. Good luck this weekend.
Other questions?
Yeah, I've got a couple more.
Sure.
Again, Julie from the Tribune. This is for Brittany and Ashley. So with what Sandy said about the U23 World Cup, does that kind of help take some of the pressure off you in knowing that maybe you can focus on that and kind of a smaller pool to try to do well in, and then maybe those results will then, bleed over and have you do well in the overall, but then to be able to just focus on that?
Hi, it's Ashley. Actually, this year for the U23, it's a pretty big field, and a lot of the girls that we're racing with are ones that we have been racing with since we were juniors, so 5 or 6 years now. So it's always good fun to be competing with people that you know well. I don't know if it takes any pressure off, but it definitely adds a second tone to it. Like, even if you don't have the best race of your life for World, you know, a lot of people are going to get taken out of that U23 category. So maybe you have a little bit better ranking. It's more of a confidence boost than anything, I think.
Right.
For Brittany,
How about
also?
for you, Brittany?
Yeah, I agree with Ashley. It's cool because there's a lot of girls that we competed against since I was 15 or 16. It'll be fun. I was counting actually how many people there were going to be in the U23 race. So it's cool. It kind of takes, you know, the older athletes out of it. I think it is a big confidence boost for that, as Ashley was saying.
And kind of springboarding onto that, Summer, do you remember your first World Championships, and you know, have you been able to pass any of that experience on to these young ladies?
I do remember my first World Championships. Yeah, I believe it was in Sigulda, Latvia, the year after the Sochi Olympics. I hope I've been able to pass some wisdom along to them. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I tell them that I'm here if they have questions, and I just try not to give them too much information that they don't want to hear. People need to learn things in their own time and have their own experiences.
Okay. With Brittany and Ashley, with you two being from the same area and kind of coming up together, do you lean on each other a little more that way, or is that just kind of how happenstance?
Yeah, for sure. Ashley and I have been fighting together since literally day one. We took our first runs together in the 6th grade.
Yep.
It's cool. It's cool to have someone that, you know, we grew up together. We went to school together. We were in the same classes together. So, I mean, everyone else is from pretty much the East Coast. It's cool to have someone from Park City.
And,
I agree. I mean, you know.
You know, just to close the circle on that U23 conversation, Summer and Tucker, not that long ago, were U23 world champions. So there's a precedent here. Nice to see. Other questions?
Hey, it's Tim again. I have one more kind of for anyone, and it's a weird one because none of you were alive, of course. But when you spend so much time in Placid, even though none of you are 40, does Miracle on Ice still serve as an inspiration to this generation of Olympic athlete, Olympic winter athlete, do you think?
Anybody want to take that one? Any in particular? Tucker, you want to jump on that?
Hello?
That is a no.
Hello? Sorry, I didn't realize my thumb had hit the mute button. This is Summer. Yeah, I definitely think, I mean, anyone that lives in Lake Placid can just feel the spirit of the Miracle on Ice and the rest of the Olympic history in Lake Placid. And I think you feel that kind of double if you're an athlete training in Lake Placid. You feel all of that history and those past experiences and miracles, and they're very inspiring. And especially if you're training and you're low on motivation or, you know, getting burnt out, you can kind of feel that motivation and, yeah, help you going forward.
Well, thank you.
We have time for a couple more questions. Anybody else?
It's Pat again, kind of playing off of what he just asked. I mean, the 40th anniversary events are coming up very soon. Do any of your schedules allow you to come back to Lake Placid to participate in any of the anniversary events in Lake Placid?
I am not totally sure. I'm not sure when they're having events for that, but most likely not. We have a pretty rigorous schedule on the road. We're on this second half of the season tour for over 8 weeks now. We have, not over 8 weeks now, it will be over 8 weeks total. We have just about 3 weeks left still before we get to go home, and we left on January 1st. So It's definitely a long grind to get through the season, and unfortunately we missed out on a lot back home, but we love what we do, and getting to compete and travel and compete with the world's best is very rewarding.
If it's 3 weeks, I have a feeling you'll miss it. I'm sure Sandy has the complete schedule he can give
Yeah,
you.
yeah. No, their complete schedule has them back in the World Cup after Sochi, and that'll take us to almost like the first weekend of March. So, unfortunately, with the events of the 40th anniversary next week, they won't be here for that. One more question before we wrap it up.
I'd like to jump in if I can again, Julie, from the Tribune. Talking about travel so much, I mean, I know you don't have that much contact with, there's not that many Chinese athletes that do luge, but how much of a concern is coronavirus, and what steps are you as athletes doing to prevent getting, in contact with it?
Anybody in
Hi,
particular?
Summer here again. I mean, I think there's a lot of maybe unnecessary, maybe necessary panic going around about the coronavirus, but the thing that I can speak to with the USOC, our NGB, and the planning, the USOPC, sorry, and our NGB with USA Luge, and what they do is, for several years now, we've taken our health very seriously, and we have a plan, just to prevent common cold, the flu, things like that. So we're pretty diligent about vitamins, hand sanitizer, just being smart on the road and while we travel. So I think we're just going to stick to the plan we've had in place and trust that those procedures are going to work.
Does it make you nervous at all about traveling with that out there? I mean, it seems like every year there's something different, but...
Personally, I don't feel nervous. I feel like the people, in charge have made the decisions they need to make, and I don't think there's any need to panic on our end.
And that plan that you were talking about, is it mostly, like you said, vitamins, hand sanitizer, just kind of general health precautions?
Wiping down, hand sanitizer on planes, wiping down your luggage handle, your tray, your armrest, things like that. If an athlete starts to get sick, we if it's possible with hotel space, get a separate room and kind of quarantine them, especially until if we find out it turns out to be flu or something serious. You don't want to spread the whole team. So we've got pretty good systems in place that have worked for us in the past. So
great, thank you.
Okay, all right, very good. Any other questions? We can wrap it up. Great. We appreciate everybody's time on the phone. Thank you to the athletes, and good luck to everybody the rest of the week and certainly on the weekend. And to the media that participated, much obliged to you all. Till next time, thank you. Have a good rest of your week.